Welcome to this class on the topic of motivation. This is just one class in a whole series on this topic. This is a very big topic, very important in business and management, and is composed of many theories and many views and many perspectives. So it has to be dealt with slowly and over several videos. This is really an introductory video. It's just dealing with issues on the surface still, but nonetheless important because it gets us into the topic. So let's start. Typically we start with definitions, and there are two. It may be a good idea to stop the video and copy these down and then look across the various definitions, look them up online and see what's said about them. But Buchanan's definition is simply that motivation is a decision-making process through which the individual chooses the desired outcomes and sets in motion the behavior appropriate to them. So it's a decision-making process. Martin, 2005, reflect on any team sport. The players spend considerable time and effort on the field attempting to exhort the other players to perform more effectively. So Martin sees it as teams within business, teams of workers, very similar to what happens on a sporting pitch. The team urge each other on to make a greater effort and to play better. And the same happens in industry, according to Martin. Different views of motivation, but as you work your way through this material, you'll find many different views, many different angles on motivation. Managers are constantly seeking different options in order to motivate their employees to improve performance at every level of the business. In doing so, they will benefit from an increased amount of productivity and reduced costs. So the drive is always on to motivate, and good managers are always on the lookout for better ways to motivate workers, looking at different incentive schemes, looking at all the factors that can lead to a greater engagement, greater involvement with the business, greater motivation. So motivation is of paramount importance in business. It's the driving force that encourages individuals to achieve their desired goals or targets. Motivation not just drives individuals, but it drives the individuals who design the corporate strategy, who design the direction the business is moving, how the business is organized, how it's run, its position in the market, its image in the community. So motivation permeates the whole edifice. It's not just individual workers, it runs right throughout. It's entirely dependent on the individual whether the motivation comes from internal or external sources. It can come from either. There are many theories that suggest it comes from inside. There are some that suggest outside factors are important. Some both, or a mixture. The need for motivation certainly is an onward process. It's an onward moving process. When one goal has been achieved, we just simply skip on to the next one. That's the human condition. We want better and more efficiency, cheap costs and more productivity. We want more. So as soon as we achieve something, our focus then moves on to the next target to try and achieve that. So the importance of motivation within the organization. Well, individuals are put into action. Individuals are different People are different. So it's a question of marrying up their skills and abilities with what is required, and putting them to productive use. Employees are more efficient when they're motivated. There's increased productivity. Increased productivity means costs are reduced, and of course that means a greater level of efficiency. Motivation allows the organisation to reach its full potential. Resources are successfully deployed or implied within the organisation. They are deployed right throughout the organisation in an efficient manner because everybody's motivated. The workers are motivated, the management are motivated. There's a keenness to do it right and to get the best. Also because people are pulling together, they're friendly and coordinated. They're working in teams. They're motivating each other. They're applying a good spirit right throughout the organisation because they're motivated. And to do this, of course, the employees must be fully aware of the goals of the organisation, and they must be all aiming in the same direction. Motivated workers lead to a more relaxed and approachable environment. This could be caused by financial motivation. People don't have the worries about paying the bills. They're getting a good salary because they're applying themselves hard in work. So they don't have worries from home. And also there are career progression opportunities. People are working in teams, but some want to excel, some want to be the best. Some are applying themselves really hard to be spotted and to be promoted. And there's a stability amongst the workforce. They won't have unnecessary days off work. There won't be many disputes at work. They're concerned with the reputation of the business and the goodwill of the business. And their skills and efficiency are being recognised, and they feel proud of their involvement in the business because they're motivated. So motivation brings lots of positive things with it, and the workers respond to these, so do management, and therefore there's more efficiency, there's a better esprit de corps, a better spirit at work. So motivation is important. At the individual level, aim to achieve their personal goals. Workers are human. They've got aspirations, they've got objectives and ideals and targets, and they want to achieve these goals. It's a sense of pride in themselves. They want to have job satisfaction. They want to go to work and make something that they can be proud of. This improves their self-esteem, and they're more willing to have development needs addressed, maybe go on courses or in-house training, or they want to be involved. And they like working within a dynamic team, working within a team that's engaged and involved, and it's a good spirit within the team. It's enjoyable, it's work, but it's not a bad experience. For the business, the business benefits because the employees will contribute more, hence more profit and success. And perhaps some of the profit will go back to further enhance the working conditions. So there's a cycle of improvement. The workers see the profits being reinvested, more jobs, better for the community, better working conditions, reputable business, motivation. And The business could also generate creativity and adaptability. It can research and develop new products, perhaps world-leading products that the workers can then be really proud of. And the company is well known, perhaps even internationally, and the workers are proud to work for it. So the company is able to deal with evolving markets and changing styles and consumer patterns of behavior, and it's able to adapt because it's got the resources and it's got a willing workforce. So they're able to deal with the changing and progressive environment. There are two elements associated with motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. In fact, different theories emphasize different things, but let's just look at these two. They are quite popular and they crop up all over the place in motivation theory. So an intrinsic motivation looks at how motivation is encouraged through an interest or enjoyment within an activity. It is said that this type of motivation originates from within the individual rather than external forces. People like work. They are motivated. They get pleasure out of making this product. They are proud of what they do. They like their colleagues. They like working in a team. They like the management because they can see what the management are trying to do and they agree. They agree naturally. It's not being forced on them. It's in everyone's interest. And that is intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation occurs from external sources. It comes from outside the individual. Factors like rewards, money, grading within the business, promotion, acknowledgement. So extrinsic is recognition for effort. So two types of motivation, one from in and one from outside. We could look at this in terms of a diagram. You could say, well, we've got intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Both of them, to some extent, feed into some work activity, related work activity. Because they're motivated, there's a greater level of reward. The greater level of reward is a feedback. It goes back in and even gives more intrinsic motivation because now people are even more proud of what they do. And in an extrinsic sense, they got more reward, they got more salary, more recognition. So it feeds on itself. And there is a loop here, a feedback, that with greater motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic, there are greater rewards. Greater rewards means more recognition, so more intrinsic motivation, which will increase it in the next round, and more extrinsic motivation, more salary, more recognition, more perhaps power or promotion or whatever it is. So that's a fleeting overview of motivation theory, and that's really all I want to say about it at this moment in time. So thank you for watching.